The Zephyrian war fleet materialized at the edge of human space with the confidence of apex predators. Admiral Kexthar surveyed the tactical display aboard his flagship, the Void Render, with satisfaction. 200 vessels strong, armed with quantum disruptors, and powered by stellar cores, more than enough to crush these upstart humans who dared claim territory in contested space. "No response to our demands, Admiral," reported Communications Officer Vexra, her metallic voice tinged with disdain. "The humans refuse to acknowledge our territorial claims." Kexathar's 4 eyes narrowed. The Zephyrian Empire had conquered 17 species across the galaxy. These mammals would be the 18th. Then they have chosen extinction. Begin the advance. The massive fleet surged forward, crossing the invisible boundary that humans had audaciously declared as their frontier. What the Zephyrians didn't know was that they had just triggered the most sophisticated early warning system in the galaxy. Deep within the Sol Defense Command bunker on Luna, Admiral Sarah Chen watched the tactical hologram with the patience of someone who had seen this scenario many times before. The Zephyrian fleet appeared as angry red dots, moving in standard Imperial formation toward the outer colonies. "Ma'am," said Lieutenant Commander Torres, "they've crossed the line. 200 vessels Dreadnought class. Standard Imperial doctrine suggests they'll demand surrender within the hour." Chen nodded, her weathered face betraying no emotion. At 73, she had dedicated her life to ensuring that humanity's hard-won independence would never be threatened again. "Activate Protocol 7. Send the message." Across human space, a simple transmission went out on all frequencies, in every known galactic language. "You have entered human territorial space without permission. You have 30 seconds to reverse course or face the consequences. This is your only warning." Aboard the Void Render, the bridge erupted in harsh Zephyrian laughter. 30 seconds? Kexthar's mandibles clicked with amusement. What can these primitives possibly do in 30 seconds? He would have his answer soon enough. The first sign wasn't visual. It was the sudden silence. Every Zephyrian ship lost all external communications simultaneously. Then came the electromagnetic pulse, perfectly calibrated to disable their weapons systems without destroying life support. 200 of the galaxy's most advanced warships suddenly found themselves drifting helplessly through space. "Impossible!" Kexthar roared, his confidence evaporating as fast as his ship's weapon systems. "Our shielding is immune to electromagnetic attacks!" But humans had learned something that no other species in the galaxy understood. Patience was a weapon. For 3 centuries, since first contact with hostile aliens, humanity had studied every species they encountered. They knew the exact frequency that would penetrate Zephyrian shielding, the precise power level needed to disable their quantum disruptors, and the optimal positioning to render an entire fleet helpless. What happened next defied every tactical manual in the Zephyrian library. Instead of destroying the disabled fleet, the humans did something unprecedented. They offered mercy. The transmission came from a single human vessel that had seemingly materialized from empty space. "This is Captain Maria Santos of the UES Peacekeeper. Your fleet has been neutralized. You have 2 options. Retreat immediately and never return, or prepare to be escorted to the nearest human world for formal diplomatic negotiations." Kexthar stared at the tactical display in disbelief. One ship, one small, unremarkable vessel, was addressing his entire armada as if they were children caught stealing sweets. "Admiral," Vexra whispered, "our sensors detect 17 more human vessels decloaking. They're surrounding us." The Zephyrian commander's blood ran cold. 18 ships against 200 should have been a massacre. Instead, his empire's finest fleet sat dead in space while humans politely offered them a choice between retreat and diplomacy. "How?" he demanded over the comm channel. "How did you disable our entire fleet?" Captain Santos's voice carried a mixture of professionalism and barely contained steel. "Admiral, humanity learned long ago that the universe is hostile. We've been preparing for visitors like you since before your empire conquered its first world. We know your technology, your tactics, your culture, and your weaknesses. What we don't know is whether you're smart enough to learn from this experience." In the depths of space, invisible to Zephyrian sensors, the true scope of human preparation revealed itself. Automated defense platforms that had been built into asteroids over decades of patient work. Cloaked hunter-killer squadrons that had shadowed the Zephyrian fleet since they entered human space. Quantum mines that could turn any approaching ship into constituent atoms with a single command. Humanity had turned paranoia into an art form and defensive strategy into science. "You speak of choices," Kexathar said finally, his pride warring with the survival instinct that had kept him alive through dozens of campaigns. "What assurance do we have that you won't simply destroy us once we lower our guard?" Santos's reply carried the weight of human history, centuries of being underestimated, dismissed, and attacked by species that considered them primitive. "Because, Admiral, we're not like you. When we say we offer mercy, we mean it. When we draw a line in space and say, 'No farther,' we have the power to enforce it. And when we tell someone they can leave alive, we honor that promise." The silence that followed stretched across light years. Finally, Kexthar gave the order that would echo through Zephyrian military academies for generations. "All ships, prepare for retreat vector. We return to Imperial space." As the humbled fleet limped away, slowly recovering basic systems, Kexthar couldn't shake the image of that single human ship surrounded by the debris of Zephyrian arrogance. They had come to conquer primitives and instead discovered apex predators, who had learned to smile while baring their teeth. In the Seoul Defense Command bunker, Admiral Chen watched the alien fleet disappear beyond the boundary of human space. She had no doubt they would be back eventually. They always came back. But next time, they would bring diplomats instead of weapons. After all, no one enters human space uninvited twice.